Once upon a time, over 2.5 millennia ago, in the lush foothills of the Himalayas, there was a small kingdom called Kapilavastu. It was here, in what is now modern-day Nepal, that a remarkable figure was born, a man whose life and teachings would transcend time and space, touching countless lives and shaping the spiritual landscape of the world. This man was Siddhartha Gautama, who would later become known as the Buddha, the Awakened One. Siddhartha was born into the royal family of the Shakya clan around 563 BCE. His father, King Suddhodana, and mother, Queen Maya, were delighted to welcome their son into the world. According to legend, Queen Maya had a dream before his birth, in which a white elephant entered her womb, a sign that she would give birth to a child destined for greatness. On the night of Siddhartha's birth, Queen Maya gave birth in the Lumbini garden under the shade of a sal tree. The boy was immediately recognized as extraordinary, and a seer named Asita predicted that he would become either a great king or a spiritual leader who would attain supreme enlightenment. King Suddhodana, hoping his son would follow in his footsteps as a great ruler, did everything in his power to shield Siddhartha from the harsh realities of the world. The young prince grew up in the lap of luxury, surrounded by opulence and beauty. He was provided with the finest education, skilled in the arts and sciences, and excelled in physical prowess. His father ensured that he lived within the confines of the palace, away from any sight of suffering or sorrow. At the age of 16, Siddhartha married a beautiful princess named Yasodhara, and they had a son named Rahula. Despite the happiness and comfort of his palace life, Siddhartha felt a deep sense of restlessness. He was haunted by a nagging curiosity about the world beyond the palace walls. One day, driven by a yearning to understand life more fully, Siddhartha ventured outside the palace gates. What he saw changed his life forever. On his first journey, he encountered an old man, frail and bent with age. On subsequent trips, he saw a sick person writhing in pain and a corpse being prepared for cremation. These sights were revelations to Siddhartha, who had never seen such suffering before. Lastly, he encountered a serene and dignified ascetic monk who seemed at peace despite his lack of material possessions. These 4 encounters, known as the 4 sights, old age, sickness, death, and a wandering ascetic, profoundly affected Siddhartha. He realized that suffering was an inescapable part of human existence, and he became determined to find a way to overcome it. At the age of 29, Siddhartha made a momentous decision. Leaving behind his wife, son, and the comforts of his royal life, he renounced his princely status and set out on a quest for enlightenment. Siddhartha's journey led him through various practices and disciplines. He studied under 2 renowned teachers, Alara Kalama and Udaka Ramaputta, mastering their meditative techniques. However, he soon realized that these practices, while profound, did not lead to the ultimate liberation from suffering that he sought. He then joined a group of 5 ascetics and practiced severe austerities, pushing his body to the brink of death in an attempt to conquer his desires and attachments. Despite his extreme efforts, Siddhartha did not find the answers he was looking for. He realized that self-mortification was not the path to enlightenment. Emaciated and weak, he abandoned his ascetic practices and accepted a bowl of rice milk from a kind village girl named Sujata. His strength restored, Siddhartha understood that neither extreme indulgence nor severe asceticism would lead to enlightenment. Instead, he resolved to follow the middle way, a path of moderation and balance. With renewed determination, Siddhartha made his way to the banks of the Naranjara River near the town of Bodh Gaya. There, under the shade of a large Bodhi tree, fig tree, he sat in deep meditation, vowing not to rise until he had discovered the truth he sought. He was determined to find the answers to the fundamental questions of life, suffering, and the nature of existence. For days and nights, Siddhartha meditated, facing numerous inner demons and temptations sent by Mara, the evil one who personified desire and death. Mara attempted to dissuade Siddhartha from his quest, but he remained steadfast. As he delved deeper into his meditation, Siddhartha experienced profound insights into the nature of reality. He recalled his past lives, understood the workings of karma, and realized the interconnectedness of all beings. Finally, on the full moon night of Vesak, Siddhartha attained complete enlightenment. He became the Buddha, the awakened one, having realized the Four Noble Truths and the Noble Eightfold Path, which form the foundation of his teachings. The Four Noble Truths are the truth of suffering, dukkha. Life is inherently unsatisfactory and filled with suffering. The truth of the cause of suffering, samudaya. Suffering is caused by attachment, desire, and ignorance. The truth of the cessation of suffering, nirodha. It is possible to end suffering by overcoming attachment and desire. The truth of the path to the cessation of suffering, magga. The path to ending suffering is the Noble Eightfold Path. The Noble Eightfold Path consists of right understanding, understanding the Four Noble Truths; right intent, committing to ethical and mental self-improvement; right speech, speaking truthfully and harmoniously; right action, acting in ways that are ethical and non-harmful; right livelihood, pursuing a profession that does not harm others; right effort, cultivating positive states of mind and overcoming negative ones; right mindfulness, developing awareness of the body, feelings, mind, and phenomena; right concentration, practicing deep meditative absorption. With his enlightenment, the Buddha discovered the path to liberation from the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth, samsara. He spent the rest of his life traveling across northern India, sharing his insights and teaching the Dharma, truth, to all who were willing to listen. His first sermon, delivered at Deer Park in Sarnath, is known as the Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, or the setting in motion of the wheel of Dharma. In this sermon, he introduced the Four Noble Truths and the Noble Eightfold Path to his first 5 disciples, who had previously abandoned him. The Buddha's teachings attracted followers from all walks of life, kings and commoners, men and women, rich and poor. His teachings emphasized the importance of ethical conduct, mental discipline, and wisdom. He established a monastic community, the Sangha, which became the foundation for the spread of Buddhism. The Buddha's teachings were revolutionary, challenging the rigid caste system and advocating for compassion, nonviolence, and the potential for all beings to attain enlightenment. For 45 years, the Buddha wandered the plains of the Ganges River, spreading his message of peace and enlightenment. He touched countless lives, offering guidance and solace to those who sought it. At the age of 80, the Buddha entered parinirvana, passing away peacefully after a long life dedicated to the welfare of all beings. The legacy of the Buddha endures to this day. His teachings, preserved in the sacred texts of the Pali Canon and other Buddhist scriptures, continue to inspire and guide millions around the world. The Buddha's life is a testament to the power of seeking truth, the importance of compassion and mindfulness, and the potential for every individual to attain enlightenment. In a world often marked by suffering and turmoil, the Buddha's message remains as relevant as ever. His life and teachings remind us that true peace and happiness are found not in external possessions or achievements, but in the cultivation of inner wisdom and compassion. By following the path he laid out, we too can find liberation from suffering and achieve a state of lasting peace and enlightenment.